So this one's Nicholas. I'll just move myself over here. There we go. Welcome everyone who is just hanging out here. Dude, 31. Tej. That's crazy, man. Thanks a lot, dude. That's crazy. Been a while. Yes. So Nick says, it's been roughly a year since graduation. I feel that I have enough work to demonstrate my current knowledge and strengths. It's been a journey of discovering the things I enjoy. Along the way, I started to focus on photogrammetry for games. Most of my recent work has been in that area while I wrap up a few pieces. I'm looking to expand my knowledge based on the solid foundation I've built from photogrammetry. I appreciate any feedback. I like to know what strengths are showing on my portfolio, where things are weak or am missing. I'd also love to hear about things I can improve regarding presentation and possibly some things I should prioritize in the next year to polish this portfolio for a junior role in the future. All right, let's go. So you have a handful of materials in here. Right now it says environment artist, your producer. I'm just kicking my shoes off here. It's a busy day again. But yeah, so if we look at this portfolio, you've got some materials. These are all photogrammetry, which is pretty cool. Timothy, man, what a hard worker. Yeah, so a lot of this, if not all of this, is photogrammetry. What is this one? Clean Tile UE4 project. So I guess if it's photogrammetry, it's got the little logo there for reality capture. I appreciate that you're moving a light around so that we can see how the surface is reacting to the lighting. Mainly because when you do photogrammetry, sometimes it can kind of come off a bit flat, or you can think it's flatter than it's supposed to be. But some surfaces are pretty flat. Nick, man, what's up, dude? Yes, this is you. So overall, I would say your scans look pretty good. So this is a scan as well. This looks nice. Photogrammetry. Color variety is really good. In the shadow, you can see it gets pretty dark. I would hesitate to say, maybe not hesitate. I would like to say that maybe your albedo is where, so your AO is really strong. So be careful with that. That's like when it's in shadow, you're seeing it's quite dark here. And then when your albedo is like this, or when your material is in full light, you're not going to see the AO anymore, and it's just going to be straight albedo. That's usually in PBR. You'll notice materials get pretty flat in like open world games, unless there's displacement, which is why everyone's doing displacement now on terrain and whatnot. It just adds that extra layer of fidelity. Your contrast in this material and your saturation values you might want to look at, because this feels like it might be a bit too dark. But I could be wrong. Depending on how you're processing this, it's just something to keep in mind. And your ambient occlusion really like controlling that, so it's got more range to it. So you're not just blacking out the crevices quickly. What's this one here? Is this is a scan as well, dude? Crazy. Yeah, so you can see your colors are pretty. I mean, you're getting a lot of noise in your scans, which is, I guess it would be one of the benefits to a scan, is that surface textural noise. Again, I think the albedo maybe is too saturated. Hey, you can see how dark it is here. That's really dark and really saturated. So I'd watch out for that. And again, maybe the ambient occlusion is just a little too extreme. Oh my God, Caps. So let's So if you're saying you want to be an environment artist, is this a scan as well? That's an interesting scan. You thought I was no one's yelling here. Nice. Ah, that's pretty cool. Um, yeah, I think if I had to say, I think all of your scans, the albedo is a bit dark. So up in the front here, it looks like you've got 3 environments. Let's scroll through this one. This is really interesting. You're gonna want to watch out for the repetitive shape that you're getting with this trunk. Maybe it's the same trunk that's being used in different spots. So you're gonna want to watch out. Hey, thanks, Polygon. Evening to you. 3 months, man. So yeah, you're gonna want to watch out for repetitive shapes and patterns when it comes to props, especially when they're separated out like this. You're doing a pretty good job of spacing them out so they're not in a weird like you're not picking up on a pattern. It's the patterns of the silhouette itself. And then the trees back here, they seem a bit like they look like they're unlit, or like you're going for real-time lighting and they're not being accommodated in this area, so they are a little bit lighter. This one you can see all the flowers. Oh, what's going on here? So you're scattering. Used Houdini, all right. So with this one, you can see that the flowers, I guess, are all around the same height. So you're not really getting much. You're not breaking away from this pattern that you can see here, where they're just all at the same height. So you got to watch out for that. Yeah, I guess maybe this as well. You're just not getting enough curve in the branch. So it tends to flatten out to a plane really easily. Do you see what I'm talking about? So around here. This one's not too bad right here. Did you make these trees, or is this all? All assets are either from Quixel scans or free packs. Okay. This is cool. I actually like this angle quite a bit just because you're trying to tell a story. The fencing is a little on the low poly side. It's details like this where I'd be like, oh, just model that yourself so that way you can get the fidelity that you're looking for. And painting on the pathway to kind of break up the material here from the material on this side is going to be pretty important. Also remember grass fall off. You can run into instances like this, but making sure that your foliage has like a height. He modeled the fences. You know this. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, the fences just don't have enough geometry or ways of explaining how they're put together. Does that make sense? So like how these are pressed into the wood and how they're connected together just needs a little extra detail. Hi from the train. Hello. Hello from my desk. You're also, you have quite a bit of atmosphere here. But you can see like there's not really any atmosphere here helping you separate the space. So it's all kind of becoming quite flat. Oh, that's cool. Ha, people. See, even like going back like this, you can see that this one's in front of this, just with the slight difference in the atmosphere between the two. If I zoom in here, like the value here versus here. But yeah, that one's pretty cool. Let's see what's going on here. This type of detail, like you really got to understand how stuff is like put together, because this just feels like you did some extrusions and some inset beveling. So it just feels like amateur modeling, right? So like this type of detail, just understanding how stuff's put together is a big, that's a big win when it comes to how you construct your spaces. This one's pretty cool. I like the graffiti. It does feel a little squiggly for being sprayed on. And man, spray painting, making fake graffiti is that's pretty difficult, man. So I get you. What's up, Exile? How you doing? Hey, Wes. What's good, man? So, I mean, when you look at it in this view, you can see that the tiles have like a good roughness that's breaking up compared to everything else. So that's really good. The wood, what is it? The wood pieces? These like 2x4 like pieces of wood. They're a strange width and thickness. And there's a little bit of a missed opportunity with I'm noticing with this light and just getting some like atmosphere in the air, just to show where that light's coming from. These shadows would be sharper, and I think the reason it's so blurry is the resolution of the light map for the wall. You can see it's the same kind of blurriness here. I think turning the resolution up for this wall piece would be like really, really good for being able to kind of bring in the sharpness that this light should be. This light should be creating some pretty sharp shadows. But yeah, this is cool. I think you're. Oh, this I love when people post their like pure ref boards with that. Let me look at this one. So this one I actually like quite a bit. But again, it's like the trees all look the same age. The flowers, is that just lavender? Is that lavender? They're all kind of the same size. And so you want that variety and the breakup and scale to just kind of vary. And if you could just add one other plant type or two other plant types to just kind of break it up naturally. So you can think like on the edge of this drop off here, there's going to be a lot of water collection down here. So you tend to get larger plants in this area, like bushes and shrubs and whatnot. This is also kind of weird with the dark stuff here. Yeah, here's the problem I was talking about with the trees all kind of being the same height. If you can get those to break up just a little bit, that'd be a huge win for you, I think. Oh, don't fall. Don't fall, dude. Oh, this is good. It's a little bit of a technical background to it. So I think what's showing well is you do understand how to make levels, and you do understand how to bring props in and assets and materials. And now it's just a matter of like tightening it up, building in logic and understanding of like how stuff is put together, as well as like going that extra mile to try and get the graffiti to look right, for example, or understanding why these boards don't feel right. And then looking at more of the technical stuff, like the shadows being really low res, and knowing how to fix that. With the photogrammetry stuff, I think it's pretty cool. It's just the variety of it is not very broad. So you could I would pick one of these three, and I mean these are more generic type surfaces. I wouldn't even have these in here. Let me see what's going on here. Is this is substance? This is cool. Maybe if it was tiling less so that you could get more into the details, that would be really nice. But like, for example, this one's really strong compared to this one. I would remove these three, keep this one, maybe remove this one. Because these are kind of filling the same role. The cracks on this one feel a little not procedural, but like digital. Procedural is not really the right word, but the breakup is very unnatural in the way that that there's cracks and stuff, and the curves and the shapes of them feel a little off. Let me look at this one really quick here. This one looks pretty nice. Maybe a little too saturated. You know, the interesting thing with moss is doing things like you need a Fresnel, right, to get kind of like that glow where the light kind of is being absorbed into the moss and then it's kind of bouncing back at you. But then in the core of moss, like you're looking right into it, right? And moss is pretty porous and like open, and there's a lot of ambient occlusion that ends up happening in there. So you could go with a pretty deep, like textural ambient occlusion that's also being masked out. So like on the fringes, the AO, you wouldn't see that AO because it's being filled in with all the lighting bouncing through the moss. So in the core, your ambient occlusion really starts to kick in. So I guess just keep that in mind. Dang, that's crazy. Super cool though. I like that you're really into scans, and I think if you want to be an environment artist, we need to see that you can make props. Right now I only see this one, and I'm not even interested in this one because it's at the very end, right? It's a year old, and it's not really it's probably not representing your skill level right now. And with these three, there's not very much of your own modeling in here. I'm not sure how much in here is from you. Oh, you made the graffiti in VR, dude. That's crazy. That's kind of cool though. That's an interesting way to try and do it. But yeah, I think I've hit on enough points. This edge here, just like the last one here, this edge is getting something to help connect these two together, whether it be like grime or some type of trim pattern that just kind of connects those two. So it's not just a geometric edge. It's kind of strange to see a curved wall, I guess. And so I think if more of the walls were straight and then this one was curved, then it would help explain that a little bit more. But right now you're not seeing much of the scene, so it's hard to tell what's going on. So it's a lot of logic stuff as well. But yeah, I don't think you're ready yet, and I think it's because I'm not confident yet in your modeling. Like I don't know what you can build other than this, right? And the fence. So keep that in mind and just keep pushing forward. I would probably want to see some assets from you and then building another scene that's a little bit more focused with assets placed in them. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. We'll get to the next portfolio now.